All right, so today we are doing a Megabonk tier list. I haven't seen any tier lists on this game so far, and there's been some pretty big balance updates recently, so I think even if there were, new tier list is kind of in order. So we're starting with Fox. Fox has not been touched to my knowledge. He has a really good start, not really good, pretty good starting weapon, and he scales with luck. Luck is one of the best stats in the game, but I don't know. I feel like the only reason I wouldn't put him higher is just because of his weapon. Like, it is good. It's just good. Like, it's like a mid-tier weapon. I think I want to put him in B tier. He could be A tier. We'll have to, you know what, we might come back to him and bump him up to A tier, but for now I think he's gonna be B tier. He does scale with luck, which is really, really good. You're building luck tome anyway, so you don't necessarily need it. You don't need that much luck. There are characters that have better scaling options. Sir Ufi, he's C tier. The sword sucks. I think sword is legit the worst weapon in the game. If not the worst, it is one of the worst. There's not much to say. His scales with armor. Armor is pretty good. Like, I think especially when you're starting out for completing certain challenges, armor can be really good. It's very forgiving, but you're not gonna be getting like 100k plus runs very consistently with an armor character just because you're missing out on damage and you're probably going weird like lifesteal unkillable builds, which are also fun, but you're just not gonna get as many kills with them. And again, the sword is the most atrocious weapon to use. Like, I absolutely hate using it, so I think C tier is good. Calcium, probably the coolest character in the game by far. He's a skeleton with sunglasses that does kickflips and gets a ton of movement speed. He's so cool. The bone, I think, is also one of the worst weapons in the game. I don't think it's as bad as the sword. It might be. I honestly haven't used the bone that much. I play Calcium quite a bit, and he's really, really fun. And I think he has insane potential if you're really good and don't get hit. I want to put him top of B tier. I don't think he's A tier, but B tier, I definitely think he's like really, really good. High B tier, because I do think he can scale really hard if you like never get hit, which is insanely difficult to do. Okay, next, Mega Chad. Mega Chad probably has the best early to mid game weapon in the game starting, which is Aura. Obviously, Aura kind of falls off like super late game, like 100k plus. Like, you're missing out on damage, and it doesn't scale the greatest, especially with really good items like Anvil, because it only gets 2 options. Aura is still like arguably the best overall weapon in the game, so that boosts him up a lot. The only thing is he's super slow, and his flex honestly is not that good. Like, I think it's okay. It can be good, but I think anything in this game that's avoiding doing damage and avoiding taking damage is kind of bad. It doesn't scale very good. You're not going to be like other characters that scale damage, attack speed, lifesteal, XP. Like, characters like that are always going to be better in a game that you want to scale as hard as possible. So I think Mega Chad is going to be top of C tier. He's definitely better than Ufi. I think Ufi, even though he does permanently scale a little bit better, I think I don't know. Ufi might be better because Ufi does permanently scale, but it's with armor, and Mega Chad like stuns. You know, I think just because Mega Chad's so good for new people, like if you're new to the game, Mega Chad is super strong to get like all your unlocks done. I think I'm gonna put Mega Chad above Sir Ufi, even though technically Sir Ufi would be better if we're going like pure kills, like in a high tier run. Yeah, we're gonna go Mega Chad just because he's so good for beginner players. Ogre, I don't know what to do because I think the axe is kind of bad. Like, it's not horrible. You can have some good runs with it, especially if you build like projectile count and attack speed, and he does scale with damage, so I do actually think he can go into B tier. I see no one run him though, and I can see people saying that he's worse than these two over here. But I do think, since he does scale with damage, he can actually be quite good. I don't think he's better than Fox. I don't think he's better than Calcium, but I do think B tier is pretty fair for him. Okay, Clank. Clank is definitely the best character you unlock as like a beginner player. You can unlock him pretty quick, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I remember he was like the second character I unlocked, so you do get him pretty quick, and he's A tier. I think he's A tier. He scales with crit. There have been on the previous leaderboard, I don't think right now, because there was just a leaderboard reset like last night, but on the previous leaderboard, there were a couple Clanks on there. He scales crit, which is just really good, and a lot of people don't run the crit tome because there are just better tomes, so having someone that scales crit naturally is really, really nice because you're not building the crit tome most of the time for like try hard runs. I think Clank is really, really good. Revolver is one of the most consistent early game weapons in the game, and it scales pretty well as well. You know, scales with crit, does really, really well. Late game, yeah, I think Clank's our first A tier. I think he's really good. If you're looking for a character and you're kind of early game, I think out of all these characters that are already on the list, he's probably the best. I've had a lot of good runs with him, and he's pretty cool. He also starts with a shield, which is interesting. Some characters start with a shield. I don't really know what determines that, but he does, which is really, really nice. Next, Robinette. When I first unlocked this character, I didn't use her because I thought it was lame. I'm like, why why would you want to scale with gold ever? You want to spend your gold. It just seems kind of pointless. But there are a lot of people saying and kind of proving, she is on the leaderboards, that Robinette has the highest potential in the game for world record, because you can run Kevin and Gold Shield and basically just infinitely get gold, especially with a gold gain tome. And in late game, you're not spending gold. Like once you get to the final stage, there's no chest to open. If you can infinitely scale your damage super hard with how much gold you have, on paper, you can outscale the enemies infinitely. I think that's the idea behind it. So especially with the Kevin glitch removed, I think Robinette is going to be the one we see at the top of the leaderboards once someone gets a really good run on her. Thing is, it's very difficult to get a good run on her. I've been watching this guy named Sneck. He's had the world record once or twice, and he's trying it, and it is very difficult to get a good run. It's one of those characters that in theory is the best, but it's very difficult to prove that theory. I do think just because of that potential, she is S tier. Okay, next we have my favorite character in the game, Monkey. Monkey's A tier. Monkey scales max HP, which isn't the best, but it's not bad. Like, it's still pretty good. It's still permanently scaling, and it's very forgiving. You know, you have a lot of max HP. You can take more hits from bosses and stuff like that, so it's nice and forgiving. Monkey has one of the, probably the best or second best projectile. Yeah, I think it's the best projectile in the game. It is really good. Once you get enough attack speed on Banana, it basically makes an aura around you that is a better aura. You don't get hit when you have the Banana aura, and it's really good. Also, they don't specify this, but Monkey can b-hop like crazy. He has some weird jump momentum mechanic that other characters don't have. I don't know if it has to do with his wall run, but he can off spawn b-hop across the map. Like, you can build so much momentum on this character, and he's just really good at surviving. You can get really consistent runs with him because of how often you're surviving. I think once you unlock Monkey, he's the best character you have at that point, because you do unlock him pretty early. You just need to unlock the cage by getting the golden key, which is super easy. Definitely recommend trying him if you haven't. My record run is on Monkey, and I think he's amazing. Okay, next, Tony McZoom. I don't think this character is honestly good. I'm gonna put him down in C tier. I feel like for challenges he might be good, but for the overall game, Wireless Dagger doesn't seem that good. It's really cool. It reminds me of Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy, but I just don't think it scales very well. You need projectile speed for it to bounce across and be consistent, and I don't think his ability is all that good. Building up some sort of shock as you move more, it's just not a permanently scaling ability, so it's just not gonna be very good, right? Anything that doesn't permanently scale is just not going to be as good as the things that do permanently scale. Speaking of things that don't permanently scale, Bush. Bush is a really good starting weapon. I think the sniper is also really good for new players because you can just shred bosses with the manual aim. You can basically focus on the boss, which is really nice. You can just shred them down. He doesn't necessarily permanently scale because he has the marksman marks that explode. So because of that, I also think he is C tier. I might put him top of C tier just because I really like the gun. This is just personal preference. I think he's top of C tier. Again, really good for when you're starting out and you want to beat tier 2, tier 2 desert, stuff like that. Like, I think he's good for that, but for big, high scaling runs, you're not going to want to really be running Bush. Okay, next, Birdo. I think Birdo is atrocious. His ability is just so useless. Not only does he run Tornado, which is one of the worst weapons in the game. Like, I never see anyone run it. I never run it. Maybe one day we see it like get buffed and people start running it and it's really OP. But even then, Birdo would still suck because his ability is hold jump to float in the air. How does that help? The only thing I could see that helping with, building a bunch of scarfs for a very niche build that make you do more damage while you're in the air. Other than that, it's useless. Like, it's so specific and niche that I don't think the character is good. Speaking of characters that I don't think are good, I also think Noelle is atrocious with Birdo. This isn't the other character that no one ever runs, and it's because Frostwalker, not good. No one runs Frostwalker. Again, another terrible weapon. She does permanently scale, so I'm going to put her above Birdo, but her permanent scale is the most useless stat in the game, which is duration. Duration is very specific for certain weapons like Poison and like Flamewalker. I can't think of anything else. Duration is very useless, and the weapons that use duration and the things that use duration, mainly the weapons that use duration, will build duration naturally while you're upgrading them. I just can't see her being good. Maybe something comes out where duration is like super OP eventually, like something gets changed. But again, I think for right now, she's very niche like Birdo, but at least she permanently scales. So she's a little bit better than him. Okay, next we have Amog. Amog doesn't permanently scale, but Poison exploding is really good. And in a way, it does scale because as you level up, you'll be poisoning more enemies, which is more enemies exploding. So for that reason, I do actually think he's not horrible. I'm gonna put him bottom of B tier. Again, he doesn't permanently scale. You can do some really cool lifesteal builds and last really long. Like if you want to get Soul Harvester, I think he's a really good character to get Soul Harvester on. You kind of just build lifesteal. There's a lot of poison related items that scale your lifesteal. There's a lot of lifesteal related items that scale your lifesteal. So I think Amog has a lot of specific use cases where he's very good. Again, you're not gonna get a crazy high run on him for the most part because he doesn't permanently scale. You can get some really good like challenge runs done with this character. So I think he's a B tier hero. Spaceman. I can't give my full opinion on Spaceman because I haven't run him. He's good. He's clearly good. He's been consistently on the leaderboards for the past couple days, and the #1 run is on Spaceman. I don't know why necessarily because I haven't seen any of them. So it's hard for me to give a full breakdown of what's going on, but he does scale with the XP gain, and it's 1.5%. Most characters that scale are 1% of their stat. They did buff up to 1.5. The more experience you're getting, the higher you're scaling, right? And if you can outscale the enemies, you get more kills and your run is going to be better. And Black Hole is in a lot of runs that I've been seeing. It's clearly very, very strong late game. Early game, it's a little weak, but late game, it gets really, really good. I know with attack speed, it ticks a lot. So he's got a good starting weapon and he scales really well. I think he's got to be top of A tier. Once I know a little bit more about him, he could probably go up here because I'm seeing him on the leaderboards quite a bit. But I just can't put him in S tier because I've never ran him. I've also never seen a run of him. So it's hard for me to properly rank him. But for now, I think A tier is good. Again, he can move up later. Okay, next, we have Ninja. Ninja is also, as you can see, on the leaderboards. 2 of them. Evasion's really good. There's no cool. I don't necessarily understand how it works. I don't think there's a cooldown on it. You just never get to 100% evasion. So Ninja can be very, very good. And also Katana is one of the best weapons in the game. Scales extremely hard. Like, it is the best damage item in the game right now, weapon in the game. It's in so many world record runs. A lot of people are running it. Scales really well with crit and the damage is insane. So I think Ninja with evasion, like having scaling evasion, you can basically become unhittable. I have played him a couple times, but that's when I was bad at the game or worse at the game. I'm not good now, but I do think Ninja is A tier, and I'm gonna put him even above Monkey. I'm actually gonna put him above Clank as well. Yeah, I'm going to put him below Clank just because I think Clank is so good for new players and experienced players that I think Ninja's only really good for like better players. So I'm going to put him below Clank, but he is A tier 100%. Okay, Vlad, definitely a B tier hero character. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying hero, but he's super cool. Coolest character design in the game, in my opinion. Blood Magic is cool. Scale your max HP really, really well. And he also scales lifesteal every level. Lifesteal is pretty good. He's just a fun character, and I think you can definitely get some good runs on him because you're building that natural lifesteal. You can either opt to go for a lifesteal tome or just not and then have your lifesteal late game anyway. I think there's a lot of options you can do with him. Very versatile, and I think he's just a good character for anyone. If you want to go for a good run, you know, beat tier 3, whatever you want to do, I think he's just very consistent. I'm going to put him above Fox just because he's got double scaling with his weapon and his passive. Dice Head is still probably S tier. Even though he did get nerfed, there's still a lot of Dice Head runs, and by a lot I mean one. There's one Dice Head run on the leaderboard right now, but it is the #2 run. I do think just because again, he has so much potential, he is a lot weaker now. He was super broken before. I think dice were literally glitched to where it was giving everything crit chance, which is not how dice is supposed to work. It's only supposed to give the dice crit chance. And his passive scaled super hard. So late game, it was just super broken. They nerfed its late game, which nerfed Dice Head very, very hard, but I still think he's S tier just because his kit is so good. He's very hard to get a run going on because I feel like Dice early game are kind of weak. Super fun character. When you get a good run on him, it just feels amazing and you scale so hard. Next is Sir Chadwell. I'm going to put Sir Chadwell top of A tier. I'm probably going to put him below Spaceman. There's a lot of Sir Chadwell runs in the last leaderboard. It does scale difficulty, and I think difficulty is kind of controversial right now because you aren't running Cursed Tome usually. I think most people have opted out of that. Chadwell is really good because he scales that naturally with his passive. And the Cursed Sword is just a way better version of the original sword. And I think it's like I actually think that weapon's very, very good. Very difficult to unlock, but I think he's good. I am actually, you know, I'm going to put him below Clank because Clank is just very consistent. Again, there's one Clank run in the leaderboard right now, but I think we're going to see more after a while. Okay, next, Athena. I don't think Athena's good. I think she's really good for certain challenges, but for the base game, I don't think she's very good. So Aegis starting weapon, whatever, if you want to do pacifist run, doesn't scale that well, kind of useless. I don't know. I don't think she's that good, to be honest. I've never seen her on the leaderboards either, so clearly, you know, not that great. If you want to run Aegis, just run it on a different character. I'm going to put her C tier because I don't think she's as bad as Noelle and Birdo, but bottom C tier seems fine with me. Bandit, the Executioner, one of the best weapons in the game. Or is it Dexecutioner? I think it's Dexecutioner. One of the best weapons in the game, scales really well with attack speed. He scales attack speed. He's just really good. Attack speed is the best stat in the game right now, like damage wise. I am comfortable putting Bandit top of A tier, maybe S tier. Again, Spaceman and Bandit could move up to S tier. It's just as of right now, the only reason I'm really not putting them in S tier is because there's no runs of them in the leaderboard, which again isn't really indicative of how good they are, especially because the leaderboard's just reset. People just haven't gotten good runs on them yet. I mean, Spaceman is on the leaderboard, but Bandit, super good. I think he's one of the most fun characters in the game. His weapon's super cool. I really like the Executioner. I think I'm pretty happy with this tier list. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, and have a great day. See ya.